Great Britain and Iran. One might ask, what can unite these two nations that are so different and far away from each other? It is not the political system. It is not the rainy climate for the former and desert for the latter. It is not religion, mostly Christian for the former, largely Muslim for the latter. It is not for writing in Latin alphabets for the former and Arabian for the latter. Not by history, as neither country has ever suffered the domination of the other, nor has there ever been a commonness in the population, as the modern English are made up of the union of people of Celtic origin, with others of Germanic origin such as the Anglos, Saxons, Jutes, and the Vikings. On the other hand, the modern Persians are the result of the union of different peoples of Eastern origin, predominantly non-Semitic, such as the Medes, the Persians, the Sarmatians, and the Alanids. It is not the distance, about 6,000 kilometers, more than 1/4 of the Earth's circumference. So one wonders what unites two nations that are very different from one another. Well, incredibly, what unites these two nations is language, or rather the most archaic part of the English and the Persian languages. Attention, we are not referring to words that are borrowed by a modern language from another, such as the word kiosk, and which comes from modern Persian koshk, having the meaning of pavilion or tent, or the word film that is borrowed directly from English by Persian. In these cases, we are dealing with words that originated in the nation, have popularized the notion that they represent, and are later on adopted along with the object that they represent by the adopting nation. In fact, the striking similarity between some words in modern Persian and English concern words or verbs that are the basis of our being, and that it is unthinkable that a language borrowed from the other, because in this case they can only come up when the language is born. We are talking about words like father, mother, and brother, verbs like the verb to be, fundamental numbers from 1 to 10, and the stars that every child learns to distinguish as soon as they learn to speak, like the moon or the stars. We are talking, in this case, about words that, without being aware, are real archaeological remains that we commonly use in our speaking, because they are so fundamental that they cannot have come into existence except when the world was born. These are words which we should maybe sometimes dwell our attention on, because they tell us about our very distant past, of a time when men made history, but of a time so remote that no one was able to write it, a time when man was still in the Stone Age, but nonetheless had developed techniques of breeding and selection of breeds, sophisticated agricultural techniques, and technologies such as the use of the wheel. These are words that make us understand our common European origin, and in part Asian.